I give myself a note.
And we're recording the 3 minutes prior.
She got a full 60 seconds.
No.
According to the big clock.
Oh, no, it's 3:20 or 7:27.
Okay. So calm for several.
The time is now 7:27. It's now 7:28 Greenwich Mean Time.
There we go. Now it's just there.
Birch is here. Oh, Birch is here, okay. Birch, what time do you have?
He's at.
He left.
I have 7:28.
Birch, do you want to start early? He's gone. Scared him. Scared him.
It's like, why are they talking to me?
No, I want you to start at 7:30, which is what the published time is.
That's what I was afraid of. And
Thank you, Birch.
can you spell your name for us? We're recording, Birch.
Yeah, I'm not required to identify myself at a meeting.
Who's that?
And it's,
That's not what I asked.
So why are you giving your public a hard time?
Oh, Birch,
No, your public.
my fault.
He didn't identify himself. He wants to stay incognito, which
You don't know that. You don't. You're supposed to. Well, for the county, we don't like people not. So, all of a sudden. Okay. 30 seconds. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Bastola,
Here.
Councilman O'Connor, Councilman Gronwell,
Here.
Councilman Stat,
Here.
Councilwoman Crowley,
present.
Salute to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
One
one
nation,
nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
liberty,
liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all for coming. I'd like to make a motion to approve the November 14th minutes. I'd like a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Kate second, all in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Privilege of the floor, once again, our future CEO, Joe Miller, has been introduced. Welcome, Joe. We also have a new gardener with a wealth of experience for 2023. I'm excited about that. She brings a lot to the table and incredible education background too. Many fields that will help us going forward. And I also did talk to FLCC, and they're looking at little areas they might be able to assist us, as well as my role with the FLC ad hoc committees. Open up some nice doors for this. Item 3, I just another committee I'm on. It was interesting to hear different sides of the DEC state that they were conflicted about it, but no seeker was done. No environmental impact on the alum treatment. So I thought that was odd. So that was that. Communications. We should find them. They should find themselves. The more I learn, the more I like, well. Moving right along. The ZBA minutes were emailed on Saturday. I got them after this was printed. Very straightforward. Reports, town clerk.
Paying to the supervisor for the general fund, $2,930.43. For water billing, $4,547.44. DEC for decals, $706.77. Animal Population Control Fund, $60 for a total disbursement of $8,244.64. And I'll take any questions on that and then I'll mention one other thing. So that needs a motion and a second.
Make a motion, we approve the clerk's report.
I'll second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So Diane and I went to the county today for our training. We're getting new tax collection software, which will be basically web-based, not necessarily hosted here. And it is interactive with what the county is using, so it'll make it easier for some of what we have to do. Looks fairly easy. It's probably just a matter of starting to use it. And that was it.
And is that an application that you're gonna be using for the upcoming tax collection?
Yes. And technically, anybody, there's a way to go in for the public right now. If you go to the treasurer's site for the county, you can go in and put in information to see what your tax bill was, how much you paid, when you paid it, at any property. It's all public information. And they have quite a few years going back in their records already.
Thank you. Anything else?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Historian, no report. CEO gave us a report. And we also have a short-term rental was also put in there as well. So we've now captured that data as well, and that will be on the report, I guess, around what the sheet's gonna look like in January. So that'll be part of our package. Ted, I didn't make a copy for you, but that'll be on this report going forward, starting in January. The short-term rental detail.
You got one. I think we'll see.
Oh, yes, well, I meant the form itself.
That's not just the report.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Rich Jokey helped out with that one, so props to Rich. Anything to add for CEO report or questions?
So Steve, are the short-term rental permits going pretty smoothly?
Yeah, most of them are pretty cut, right? Had a couple. Back on nothing. Trash picking, missing the smoke alarms or, fire extinguishers or hangs. Underneath the kitchen cabinets and stuff like that. Pretty tough if you're in a place you're looking for a fire extinguisher and a dig for it. Things like that, nothing too bad. We just went back on a couple. I have 10 more sitting on my desk. So some of the people are snowbirds, I don't know, they might wait till spring to get them. Yeah, sitting on my desk, I have the applications.
Right, they've applied.
I'm sure there's a lot we're missing. I know some right off the top of my head. And I know you guys were gonna discuss how you're gonna handle to become compliant with short-term rental agreements.
So the 10 on your desk are in addition to the 16 that are presented here?
Correct, yeah, they're not processed.
Excellent, okay.
And within that also, you're looking at parking spaces as well?
Yes, yeah.
Just making sure.
I was surprised at the Francis Shores that there's a space for 10 vehicles.
Yeah, he owns across the street.
Sure, okay, thank you.
Oh, that was Sherman's.
No, is there Canadice?
Okay. I believe they have room across the street also.
Okay, that makes sense.
And yeah, you're gotta have a parking space for everything.
Okay, thank you.
No kidding, they park all along the side of the road.
Yeah.
We're gonna start moving with the snow plow.
Yeah. Yeah, blame there.
All set, Stephen? Planning board, Ted Haywood.
Okay, the planning board met on November 28th. We have the draft minutes. Pretty self-explanatory there. We did finish up finally the subdivision at Thibodeau and West Road. We did that final map for about 5 months. And we got it in. Began the process of a new subdivision application of the minutes. Question came up from one of our planning board members, property that's. The subdivision is under a violation order from the CEO. For a safety and safeness, and so the question came up. The owners be allowed to do any action on top of this as a violation. We didn't know, and the planning board got still. Clear the application. So we went ahead and did a review. Since that time, we've spoken with Steve, and reviewed the code, and CEO is interpreting the code. He has the sections that we should not allow any action on the property that's a violation order. So I'm going to inform the applicants that until they work out the violation clear or something plainer through the CEO, we will not proceed with that subdivision application. Thank you for working with us on that, Steve, and clarifying that for us. We didn't know what to do at the time. That's why we went ahead with the preliminary, knowing that we were not going to go past that. So the preliminary and the seeker, but we did not file it. Okay, that and see what's on this. Other than that, we the Shaw property down on Canadice Lake Road, we've been talking about that for 2.5 years or so. We finally come up with a solution to their access problems off County Road 37. They ended up combining 2 properties to get the road frontage, allow them to extra driveway down the hill west. So we did a preliminary review of that site plan. They're very thorough. They have all the needed applications, all the needed permits, and site plan. Determined it did not be. It would not be reviewed by county planning. Spoke with county planning since it was in front of the county road. Talked to county planning, and the what she quoted was that since it's a single family residence, no variances were required on the property, that it would not be reviewable by a county. So we'll just go ahead and have the final plans. We did discuss the proposal for revising the short-term rental postcard, reminder postcard. And our board felt that it would be premature to do that until we get some consequences built into the regulation. Unless we have some teeth in our regulation.
Correct.
What's the sense of us spending money at this point? Another massive deal. So we had a couple people looking into how we could then hold this violation of the consequences, fees, etc. So that was our input back to you, that we didn't feel we should go ahead with the aspect.
And when you've got that, I meet now with Sheila because of lots of things going on at the town every first Wednesday of every month. So that times in perfectly with your meeting. So if I can get that for anything for her to review, she could actually look at that pretty quick.
Oh, yes,
The
the proposal for
The fines, some fines that are actually gonna hurt rich people.
The group is going to basically look at some comparable towns, some of their short-term rental regulations, and come up with also for consequences for violation. At that point, then we should then go ahead and send out the reminder. That's planning board's input back to that.
Maybe on this next one, we want to make them a different color, so they look very similar, but they're definitely different. They say, oh, it's a different color stock. That was my thought.
Do we have a sense of the number of, homeowners that we're trying to tap? Now that we have 26 applications in process?
I don't know if Steve has any idea of how many are out there that have not applied now. I don't.
So really, they're gonna get double that.
Really?
Yeah, I bet it's higher than we think, like Steve's saying. It's, and you could just go around and ask neighbors. It's hard to pin down. You won't know until you see cars without state plates.
I've heard people saying it's just not gonna do it.
Right, right.
It's gonna ignore it.
Are we,
They already have.
Well, yeah.
And now they're just saying that they're ignoring it. We'll ignore it until some consequences come from it.
The courts follow up.
are we looking at the, STR codes for neighboring towns? I
Yeah.
paying close attention to what's going on in South Bristol. They're actually trying to make it easier for people to go through the process.
I'm not sure which towns, I don't know if Birch or Cleveland have come up with a list of other ones they're gonna look at. Okay, that will be forthcoming.
Okay,
If you just go to the Airbnb sites, Zillow, Air Properties. Most people list through an agent. Most people do.
right, but you typically do not see the property location until you send money through. Really? Yeah. Nice, yeah, because I do use VRBO when we travel.
Okay, so, as soon as that little group comes back with a recommendation with them to code, we
Please.
send it to you and get it moving.
Thank you.
And that was all.
Thank you, sir. ZBA, I emailed the minutes, and other than that, no report at this time. Highway Department. Jerry.
Already. We've been trying to take advantage of weather when we have it and still get a little road projects done. So we finished up with our month-long rental of the boom lift by cutting overhead on Tibbles and then turned the corner on the Canadice Hill Road and headed north. Made it maybe half a mile up the road. So we're in good shape for our road projects for next year as far as getting a head start with that. We got some cold patch, spent 2 days running around town, filling potholes. Past couple of weeks, there was several days where we had wind events where there were 20-30 mile-an-hour winds and 50-mile-an-hour gusts. We spent several days driving around during the events, cleaning up debris, dead trees, and it even after the following morning. There's just so many dead ash trees down there, and they've been coming down everywhere. And we took the mowing tractor up on the hill. Spent a couple days up there trying to touch up that dirt road a little bit. Kind of a losing battle at this point, but trying to do what we can. And we started with snow removal. So at the time when I wrote my report, we'd been out 8 times with the entire fleet. We're gonna add 4 more to that since I wrote this last week. And we made 4 runs with a truck or 2, just cleaning up drift areas and mostly spot salting up in the elevations. Spent last little bit of money in the ice control budget and bought 71 tons of salt. Mixed that with the mac chloride that we used. We finally got the international truck back from regional. We've had just some punch list type of stuff that we had them working on. Last week got all the plow equipment on there, the sander calibrated. It's set up right now, so we're going anywhere from, got 3 settings that we're using, 220 tons a lane mile. up to 450 tons of lane mile. So it's easy, push the button and he knows what he's putting down. And it's all automated. And we've had the chance to use that here twice today. So I placed the order for the F-250 superintendent's pickup truck. Delivery date to be determined. And with the F-550 one-ton plow truck. And I was told that at this point, Ford is not guaranteeing that it will actually be able to deliver it, so. And I've heard from some of the other highway superintendents in the county that they placed orders for pickup trucks last year and never ended up being received. So. Could be interesting. And that's all I got. But then I turned to, you got
At the county, they hand carried, 4 purchase orders today that had to be in by 4:30. This was at 3:15. And the person that signed was sitting right there. They got it done. And they left. But crazy stuff. So yeah, we'll address those resolutions shortly. I do have a resolution for the 5-year plan that Jeremy gave us. Is there a motion to? pass the 5-year?
that, I have a question for Jeremy.
Okay.
On your 5-year plan. I didn't see, I thought there was more flex on that work next, or in 2023.
There
I
is,
didn't see it
there's
on the
a,
plan, but maybe,
yeah, I didn't include it on the plan as road work per se, that's more, a maintenance. Maintenance requirement, yeah.
anyway, it's on your plan, it just isn't on the capital approval.
Yep, I've got, from round, I think it's round 15, I believe, I've got,
No, that's okay, it's just. I was looking for it and I didn't see it, that's why.
It was never in the plan per se, so.
Well, it's not a capital improvement, it's in his plan,
Right.
but it's not a capital.
Correct.
Yeah, I get it. So I'll move to approve the 5-year capital improvement plan. for the highway fund.
I'll second it. Three motions, Mark seconds, those in favor? Aye, it carries.
there should be that 284 in there as well, that needs to get approved and signed. That's the, expenditure agreement.
I have that right here, yes. We'll pass that around as we're going through. Anything else?
All I got.
All right.
All right, well, the DEC's contractor completed their film treatment on November 18th. The thing that I want to emphasize, and I'll look at Kate and Mark, is this mitigation strategy addresses the legacy phosphorus in the bottom sediments that are released when the lake stratifies and then turns over. This occurs mid-July through late September. I fully expect you're going to see a blue-green algae bloom around your dock in mid to late June. I fully expect that.
Why?
Because there's a form of blue-green algae called Cleotrichia that dies, goes to the bottom in shallow water, gets its nutrients from the bottom, blooms and comes up. This treatment will not address them. Same thing with Mark's daughter. Mark's daughter is going to complain to Mark. I got a blue-green algae bloom. It's the 3rd week of June. Don't surprise me. This will start being in mid to late July is when this, and onward is when this
It's going in this house.
that this will make a difference. So I fully expect that we will get resident concerns that they're still seeing a blue-green algae bloom.
Well, we would like the wind to blow the same way that it did this year, just Mark's daughter ended up with all that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The other thing.
I'm gonna buy some fans.
Is the legacy phosphorus in the bottom sediment is not the only source. So if we get a 100-year rain event, with 4, 5, 6 inches of rain in a few hours, we get a massive amount of storm runoff that brings nutrients into the lake. And this is true for Mark's daughter. I know it's true for Mark's daughter, because the previous resident of that house complained to me every year. So I know it's true for Mark's daughter. So weed fragments that blow up on the shore. If you don't rake them up and have the barge haul them away or take them to your garden, when they decompose, they release nutrients. So if you leave the weed fragments lay on the shore, they will decompose and you will get very isolated, very small pockets of high nutrient water. So anyway, that's the deal. And but we've had various studies over the years, so depending on which study I want to look at, the elm treatment will address 60 or 70 to 90% of the phosphorus, but it won't address it all. So leave it at that. That is what I wanted to highlight. So that's my update.
Thank you. And that's good to be transparent on that, because that's,
Well, we are gonna get. We will, you will too.
yes,
And the link I had in my report, you have your own connections. Should you get in late June, you get a resident concern. DC. Forward them to the DC.
just give me a number.
Well, it's on that link.
Well,
Now, link in that.
I'm gonna
link in
change my
my-
extension. I'm gonna change my extension. to
Yeah,
40
yeah,
extension. Press 14.
I'm sure. Enough of that.
All right, thank you for that detailed report.
Yeah.
Assessor report we have in front of us, nothing to add. Getting ready for our reassessment. Coming up. Water district operations. Got a few items in there.
Yeah, so, Eileen, Dave Rowley and I finished the, water reconciliation. And I did go back to Dave and say to him, okay, help me, illustrate for the town board and the supervisor, that we're within, tolerance on water that, is coming through the system and not being billed and ending up with a homeowner. And so what he did in the last block on page 2 is to help me show that on map. And what we're finding is over the course of the 3 months, we have approximately 2,500. Yeah, 2,500 gallons per day. It's anywhere from 22 to 2,500 gallons per day during that period that we lose. It's about a 5.6% variance. And anything less than 10% is very good. So wanted to report that. November of this year to last year. It's an increase of 60,000 gallons that was pumped over the course of the month. And we have 20 new connections from last November to this November. And so we're like spot on in terms of gallons pumped. And then the other thing that Eileen and I are doing is we are looking at residences that over a 6-month period did not show any water usage. And we're just going to confirm that the meters are working. Well, that's it for the water district.
Thank you very much.
So I understand that 5.6% is about half of what is considered acceptable.
Acceptable.
Yeah,
Right,
I understand that.
right.
But do they have any notion of where that's going, how that happens? Just curious. I mean,
no,
5%, 6%, that's still not a water.
I know, which is why I said to Dave, help me explain this. Some of it is related to flush at the end. And you can't bill that. I still have yet to ask Patty, I keep forgetting. If we can put a meter on there, and if so, what would the cost be?
I think just an email should be,
Yeah, I forget to send it.
yeah, if you would, that'd be great.
Okay.
I can tell you it's a lot,
I filed the paperwork. I know,
it's a lot.
I know,
And would it be worth it? That's the other question. That's,
right. Well, then I could say to Terry, we can account for everything, but 900 gallons a month.
we can put out a splash pan every time it fills up, just empty it.
That's
The
true.
MPA gets rated there.
That's true.
Just could
I
be able to
did
bucket.
notice coming through town, they had a pretty good water break on Main Street recently. Monroe County and a whole bunch of people were there looking in a big hole.
Farmington had two at once, including the me,
Really?
simultaneous.
Okay.
My question was, who's paying for that 2,500?
We are.
It's just out of the general operating.
It's actually, so I calculated it when I first went through the water account and the water reconciliation. It adds about 7/10 of a penny to the water rate that we currently pay.
Not quite a penny.
Right?
So what I'm understanding is that's pretty standard par for the course for a water district to have this type of leakage or decay or seepage, whatever you want to call it.
Right,
Well, it is, but it. The income to the water district should pay for the. Water that's coming from Monroe County, right?
it does.
I
So,
mean, including this 5.6%.
yeah, so we pay, right, from Monroe County about 4 cents a gallon.
No, I mean, the members of the water district should be paying for the 5.6.
We are.
7/10 of a cent.
So there's about a 4 cent overhead rate on that 4 cents a gallon. That's where that 7/10 of a cent lives.
Within that 4 cent.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna hook up. I'm thinking, I'm ready. I'm gonna stomach this. I'm probably gonna live with it. Get ready. Haven't hooked up
I
yet.
can't wait.
I did forward the shelter report. That's still the same. And I did not get a chance to ask about those rusty doors that have been there for much time. I did submit the financial report. And I do have a couple resolutions on budget modifications. One is just a general one that will clean up everything that's in the negative from 2022. So we can have a clean books. Close out 2022.
So I had one question around
Yes.
that. Are we also gonna clean up the $19 on the capital storage? It's not a deficit.
Right, we should clean up everything. Yes,
Good.
yeah.
Okay,
So please
Good.
just put that in writing and we'll go through everything. This is our first time closing the books.
okay, do you want to note to the bookkeeper with a copy for you?
That'd be fine.
Okay, okay,
And maybe hold off on putting an email, so maybe if we find other things, it's all in one email, just one email with a whole bunch of things.
okay,
In fact, we could even forward that. Yeah, I mean, right now, there's at least 6 things that gotta be addressed, maybe 7.
okay,
One of them we're gonna close out tonight. Yeah,
yeah,
there'll be more, because we just don't know what's gonna pop up.
okay.
So a motion for the budget modifications.
Wait a minute, you gotta do your financial report first.
Right.
I-
Yeah, but we didn't okay it.
Oh. Okay,
I make a motion to approve the supervisor's financial report.
Mark will second.
I abstain.
All in favor? Aye.
Those opposed? It carries. Thank you.
I now make a motion to approve the resolution to authorize budget modifications for the 2022 budget.
I'll second.
And I did give you the other resolution as well for the 36,000 for the second payment for Martins as well. Is that in that block?
This is something important.
That was the addendum.
It's on the agenda. Right.
That Martin's emailed the on 4:30 on Friday.
And I see that there were no additional charges for the drilling, so they must have been within the tolerance. So I wanted Birch to hear that.
Said the first well. They were into bedrock at 65 feet. And I didn't ask about the second well. I imagine it was about the same because it's only about 25 feet. So they use 70 feet in casing.
Cool.
Well,
Okay. And that's actually a benefit, right? Long term.
yeah, it's mostly just to keep the hole from collapsing. Now, once they get down into that rock.
Well, we were also told at one point it's better heat transfer.
Being of the bedrock.
We'll
To be in the bedrock is better heat transfer for sure, yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? They both carried. Thank you. I distributed the adopted 2023 town budget. And now we'll move on to unfinished business.
And it is on the website too.
Excellent, thank you. The project's coming along, there's a little hiccups here and there, but they're gonna work around our holiday party so we can have our holiday party. That was a big concern of mine. And they now know to come in on Fridays, Mondays when I'm here. And no one else is. That's about all I got to say on that one. Integrated systems, just more fun. I'm just gonna keep that in there until the fun stops. I think I'm gonna drop it next month. Resolution, I'd like to make a motion to set a time and place for our 23 organizational meeting.
I'll move
Need it.
that.
Need a second?
I'll second it. And Eileen, catch the January 2022 and update it to 2023 in the body.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye. Those opposed? Right away maintenance permit, these are, a lot of these are we do every year. Right away for the county. Allowing the city to get in there.
I'll second.
Who's in favor? Aye. Carries.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
John.
Okay, thank you.
I would like to block two reappointments. Blocking two reappointments, Paul Miller, member of the town planning board for another 7-year term. And a reappointment for Chris Singer for a 5-year term for ZBA. I move.
I'll
Terry
second.
seconds. Mark moves and Terry seconded. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That carries.
And just FYI, Ted, Paul will have to come in for another oath.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion to execute a contract with the Honey Lake Senior Citizens Club. That's something we do every year. It's $500 for our seniors. There are many of us in the room.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Wait a minute. Motion and second was who?
I motion.
And John seconds.
John
Thank you.
second.
Thank you.
You. Acceptance of the town clerk audit. I'll move that. There a second? I'll second. Mark second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That carries. Authorization for Canandaigua National Bank to be our agent for the town of Canadice to accept our town and county tax bills. Moved by John, second.
Second.
Terry, those in favor? Aye. Carries. I'm moving to block 2 purchases of trucks, the F-250 and the F-550 in one block. I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mark seconds. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I think it's 2 down to 1. I'm doing this for our new ZBA members, so all these meetings are long. Okay. And, authorization to execute proposal for our Sonic Wall antivirus subscription license from our friends at Integrated Systems.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I need a second. Kate motions. John seconds. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That carries. Approval of the bills. John moves it. Second.
Seconds.
Terry seconds. Those in favor?
Aye.
The bills carry. Oh, this one's great today.
Before I have a question on the going,
Oh,
what was the $5,000+ spent? Tires on water care.
Is your microphone on, John? I can hardly hear you.
No.
Try it again. I think they go up by themselves. We approved on the bills, we approved a $5,000+ bill for a motor and a pump, a splice kit from IXOM Water Care.
that was for the water tank, wasn't it? I have to look at that one. That for the water tank?
I have no idea. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
Is that a billable expense to the water district then?
I'm not sure what that one is. Without looking at it again.
Well, if it's for the water tank, yes, it's to the water district. It has to go to the water district.
Okay, because seeing it approved through the bill packet here, I was just curious what it was.
Does it show what the account
Should say right on the,
on the voucher? It should show the account if it came out of a water district account.
should say SW1 on the first page. I can look if you want to hit it.
Yeah, let's look and make sure.
I'm pretty sure those were the parts for the tank
I'm pretty sure.
because it was
That
it was
that a while
easier.
ago. It would have been early in the month.
Who was it with again? What's the name of it? IX.
Yeah, and those parts came in pretty quick when we ordered. And they got it installed too, whereas waiting until next year. They didn't do a sprayer. Wasn't there a sprayer in there? It's a sprayer. No idea.
Yeah, so chlorine is the sprayer for the chlorine.
Thank you.
That's what it's going from water.
That should be SW1. Yep, good question. Thank you for asking. There it is.
Yep, SW1-230.
It's in the right place.
So, yep.
Okay, anything else with approval of bills? Privilege of the floor, again, our holiday gathering on 21st is on. I did put in your packets, something about utility pole maintenance, just so people and residents and board members are aware from NIMO. And you got a copy of that. Also, our meetings for the next year. And also, agenda item and voucher due dates are a really helpful when I'm putting together an agenda, when we're putting together our abstracts. Those things are so helpful. Anything to do with that. Allows me to go somewhere on weekends, and I will be gone weekends soon. I keep saying that, but I will.
So that schedule's pretty much set, other than the board has to approve mileage at the January organizational meeting. Then that'll
Yes.
be,
That is correct. That is correct. Yep. That is about it. We need to go into executive session at this time. So,
I have to stop the recording.
yes, but.
not till the motion.
Can I talk? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Motion we go out of regular session and go to executive.
Yeah, that has to be recorded. And I need a second.
Second.
Those in favor? Aye. Okay, now,
And you have to state what you're going out for. Sorry.
yes,
For executive.
yes, the reason why we're going into executive session is regarding proposed or pending litigation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate all that.
Okay, now you can shut it off.